I am recording right now.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right, welcome to the Cam special edition, first edition. Getting my hair did. Is this foil loose? What's happening here?
See. Oh yeah, hi.
Roping my girlfriend B, who does my hair, beautiful, I know it looks lovely, into talking a little bit about owning a creative business. So first off, I think both of us wanted to chat about just like running your own schedule and how do you manage that and how do you keep it going and not just watch endless episodes of Real Housewives?
Well,
You're like, I do, but...
well, you get a DVR and you
Yeah.
can watch your Housewives later. But yeah, one of the things that I like to do is kind of keep a tight schedule, like plan out your day, like what's your morning routine, what's your afternoon routine, and what's your evening routine. And that way you don't like think about your whole day all at once. Like,
Do you keep your I know you have a kid, but do you keep your morning and evening as close to like normal every day? Or no, like your client goes up and down, but like how do you?
I do have a lot of flux with it. A lot of the time in the morning it stays the same. Where it starts to change every day, where you should have a little bit of, where you can bend things, is in the evening. Because people, especially in LA, traffic really does
Gets
run our
you.
business.
Got me today.
Yeah. Well, gets
So,
everyone. It got everybody today, so it made everyone on time, actually.
Oh, good.
Because everyone was perfectly late. But I think, like, not overwhelming yourself with, like, too much thought of, like, oh, what's my 12 hours? Like, think, like, what can I do in 3 hours? And then what can I do in the next 3 hours? And kind of spacing it out that way.
Gotcha. How do you keep your creative flow going? Because a lot of people like their creative flow is fueled by the up and down of their day and like having a crazy day. Because
So,
you do some wild hair.
so like, how do I
Yes.
keep my juices flowing
Yeah,
for that? Or
yeah,
do you mean the
that's really-
inspiration for those
Let's
things?
go inspiration because juices flowing makes me uncomfortable.
Oh. I feel more comfortable with juices
Okay.
flowing, but I feel like when I want to be inspired, and this could sound super generic, but I totally love going to museums and looking at architecture in general, like driving around. But I think it's because what I do is super structured and technical, even though it's a creative business or a creative medium, like doing hair and color and stuff. But being inspired by other art and other people's like interpretation of the environment also inspires me, and it helps me like feel more connected to that. So if I see like this flower, right, that inspires me to do someone's hair green to like violet or purple or something. But I also, when I see a painting of something or whatever, I can capture different parts of that and put it into hair. So I try to keep myself like full of different things. Like the Broad here opened up and I was like one of the first
That's so
people in
good.
line to like be there. Or like when I was in New York, it would be like the Met, and that takes like years to get through, like
Yeah.
you can go through each section like a bazillion times, or even out here going to the Getty and whatever. But as far as like the daily thing, keeping myself like in that high creative zone is like diet and like being aware of like nurturing yourself and nourishing yourself and
Not just like huffing cigs and consuming sugar.
yeah, and caffeine. I mean, I love caffeine, but like you take a step back from it. Like you don't have to drink coffee every day, or like
Or more than one cup every day.
yeah,
or
like limit your moderation on those things. Yeah, sugar, caffeine, they'll bring you down, and emotionally too. And
Yeah.
it's like you want to
they
be
keep
able
you going, but not going up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I like that.
that's how I do.
Since my battery's running out, well, what's your like number one gripe about running your own business? And maybe it's industry specific, maybe it's not.
The too much information that I don't need from clients. Like if they're like, can I book an appointment this day? And I'm just like, yes. And they're like, yeah, because I need to do this, and I can't really engage in like your, like, that's great, you have your schedule, just let me know when you need to be here.
Well, so you
know?
book over text, so now you're just taking up my free text in my like space.
Yeah. And like I don't want to be rude and not respond to you. So it's like I kind of have to respond, but I'm like so busy because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So I guess my number one gripe is like keep it short, keep it. And then when you're in my chair, tell me everything. When you're face to face, we can talk. Like, but text, it's
don't
like,
bother me over text message, but
Yeah.
tell me everything.
or
in
the
person.
11:30 text at night that's like, I may or may not have box dyed my hair. Help.
I don't think I was there with you, but I did that, and not the box dye, but I've done that. I don't think.
No,
think it
you've
was a
never
long
done
time
that
ago.
with me.
Yeah, I don't think I lived here yet. It was
Thank God.
traumatic.
Don't do that.
Don't box dye. Maybe
Don't
that's
ever buy
Maybe
a
that's
box
the
dye.
message of this video. Don't box dye.
Don't ever box dye your hair. Unless you're just like this crazy rad person, you're like a hair angel that came down from the hair heaven, then great, good for you. But most of it is made with metallic dye, which means it's metal that you're putting into your hair and on your scalp, and it's going into your bloodstream. So it's kind of creepy.
The metal's going into your bloodstream?
Yeah, when you
that-
put color onto your
that's
head, there are parts of it that go into your bloodstream because it's touching your dermis, and there's an oxidative state. So it's like getting in there, and that's why some people are allergic to it. That's why, like, yeah, it's real fun.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. You want to talk about the B-sides right now?
Yeah.
Because we still have time.
Seriously.
Okay, the
if this
B-sides.
cuts out, it just means the battery died, and I'll do a recap later.
I've had a client before when I changed my product line to a more herbal product line.
Yeah.
And we always dyed her hair the same way. She started having an allergic reaction. This is the only time it's ever happened to me ever in my chair before, and it was like 6 years ago now. But I noticed like her head was starting to swell and get red, and she was like, B, I think that my heart's pounding really hard and I'm getting really hot. And I was like, yeah, oh my God. So I went and rinsed it off immediately, and I ran down to a bodega on the street and got Benadryl and immediately gave it to her, and she started to come back around, and I was like, I think you're having an allergic reaction to because it was so essential, like whatever was in that essential
Yeah.
oil, like totally, she was not, it was,
Not vibing with it.
yeah, it doesn't work with her chemistry or whatever it is, like I'm allergic to juniper.
So
Like,
random.
and there's and it's in gin, and I didn't know that.
No.
And I remember one night I went binge drinking with some friends, you know, when I was like 20, and I was like 21, I mean, and I was like putting them back, and I'm like, yeah, gin is great, and then I was like hives in the hospital, you know. So it's like even herbal stuff can be pretty dangerous, even if it's hair stuff. So
Interesting.
that was a real fun. Do you have stuff like that for jewelry? Like, do people get allergic reactions?
Yeah, to plating.
Oh,
Yeah,
plated
to
jewelry.
plated jewelry.
I wear this nice
Oh, yeah.
plated one every day of cam jewelry because I love it so much. But
I'm trying to think. The one other thing, not to interrupt, that I wanted
No,
to know is
tell me.
how, when you're building your business, how did you motivate yourself, or like how did you get all those clients? Like how did you get here in it?
so that's a question that everyone asks me a lot,
Yeah.
and I have so many answers to that, and too little answers too. Like
Okay.
not enough and too many. It's like I really care about what I do, and like I care about my clients. So like I think that I get to care about them, and they know that, and like other stylists aren't as intuitive to that. But basically my marketing strategy is when someone's in my chair, I usually let them know if they like bring me two people. I know I've never done this with you probably, but if you bring me two people,
Get to know the deals now.
yeah, right. Now that I've been charging you for years. But if you bring me, like, especially in the beginning when you're like, you have nobody and you're like, I don't know what to do. But when someone's like, I love my haircut, oh my God, be like, okay, here's 2 more of my cards. For every 2 people you send me, you get a free haircut. So it's like,
That's a
that
good one.
motivates them, and it doesn't cost the stylist anything but in time, which you have because you don't have any clientele at the time or
Yeah, so it
something.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're not financially strapped because of it. And then now, you know, I don't offer deals so much as I just make sure I do things like every
You
time
treat
they're
everyone well. Like
I
you'll be like,
do.
hey, if you're, bang trims, or if you don't like this, you always like.
Oh yeah, with my clients, I think one thing that they love is that in between haircuts, I always do their neck trims or bang trims, and if you come in for that, I still even do a little bit more because
Yeah.
I want
It's
to keep
the
you guys
caring, I
looking
feel like.
good,
Yeah.
for longer, because if my clients look good all the time, I look good all the time, and it's just an investment in that. And also sometimes I just pick out a client that I'm like, I know that they're just like, they love attention, and I'll be like, let's do something. Let me do whatever I want, and then let's do some like photos. And they're like,
She's not
yes.
talking about me, by the way. This is not what
No,
we usually
no,
do.
you,
You're looking
you and
at
I
me
are a lot of,
like.
you know what I mean? It's like the girls that want like the, you know, like mermaids and unicorns and Medusas out there, you know. But
We trade in crystals, actually.
yeah, that's true.
I pay her in crystals.
And I'm good with that because I like her crystals.